Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech along with my co-host Sundar, and welcome to another episode of Ash Answers sponsored by Slick Wraps.
Ash Answers is a show where we answer your questions that you ask on Twitter using the hashtag AshAnswers.
So without further ado, let's get to the questions.
Is your 50k PC build good for YouTube editing? Please suggest a suitable monitor also.
So guys, this is the difference between a gaming build and editing build. While for gaming, the GPU is the most important aspect. For editing, it's more CPU intensive. So GPU is used for transitions and when you're doing a little bit of in-depth After Effects, and it might affect the render times, but overall for the smoothness of the timeline to be able to edit better, you would need a more intense processor. Yeah. So our build is great for gaming. For editing, I would probably tone down the GPU and go with a little higher CPU. So here my priority for the build was the GPU there.
What will be the worst thing for you in Samsung Galaxy S8 and the LG G6 going according to rumors?
Well, for the G6, I'm not really interested in it because it's a 821 and LG's marketing. We've covered that a lot in prior episodes. For the S8, the size, rumors indicate it to be quite a big phone.
Okay, it's the S8 Plus, right? The S8 will still support the same body as the S7.
Yeah, but still the display is gonna grow bigger, which means I don't know.
You need to reach
higher up. So I'm not sure if that's gonna be a negative, but right now I'm a little precarious about these two things.
For me, with the S8, I'm a little wary of the fingerprint sensor, the placement.
Okay.
The weird placement. I don't know. It might just be something that people need some getting used to. But then with the G6 Snapdragon 821, that's the worst thing. So I don't think that's something people will get used to, especially after spending around 50-60 grand. So did you like the new WhatsApp update?
I haven't really gotten around to testing it. I don't use WhatsApp a lot. I do, but I'm not like looking forward to every new feature that WhatsApp brings. So I'm yet to really play around with it. So I would probably do that before this video goes live. So.
Okay. And I don't really care because I've never updated my status or even display picture for that matter. So it doesn't really make a big difference in my life. Same for you, right?
Yeah.
You haven't updated your status or
DP. I did add my DP though.
Okay.
A long time back, but it's the same thing for about 3 years now.
Okay.
Status, no.
Normal smartphone or transformer stuff? Moto Z, LG G5, etc.
Whatever works best. If it's a either or, if it's something like what Moto is doing, they're sticking to it for the second generation now.
Exactly.
So if I see them sticking to it for a third generation, I would definitely be very interested in it. But initial impressions, the signs currently point to Moto being serious about it, and that's something I really appreciate. So if it's a toss-up between similarly spec'd phones at similar prices, then of course the transformer stuff, as you call it, would be great. But if I have to pay a premium for it above the regular stuff, then I'm not gonna do it unless it's at least 3 to 4 generations old.
Okay. Same for me because when you get the same specs at a cheaper price, a normal smartphone would do. And right now, I would definitely go for a normal smartphone because the transformer stuff isn't really reliable right now. I know you don't attend many tech events. From the ones you have, what's the worst thing you've ever done?
Okay, so there was this, I think it was a Gioni event, the eLife E7 launch. So I had a bad experience. They were great, Gioni were great, but there was a mix-up at the hotel. So they had given my room to somebody else. The hotel had mixed it up. So somebody woke me up when I had just fallen asleep. So I had to sort that out, and then somebody kept texting me. So that woke me up a second time, and then my friend actually called me once. So as an insomniac, falling asleep once is difficult. Being interrupted 3 times, I literally got no sleep that night, and I actually slept through the presentation. So I was sitting with Chaitanya, and Chaitanya was like, they're announcing the phone. Yeah. So that's what happened. That's probably the worst thing I've done.
I've been to only 2 events, and the first one was the Mi 5 launch event. So we actually had the phone, the Mi 5, even before launch.
Okay.
Even before India launch, the official India launch, and he was almost done with the full review of the phone. He was just waiting for the official pricing, Indian pricing. So that was one of the reasons he sent me. So I went there, and since that was my first event, I was all excited, and when I went in, I almost forgot the reason I was there.
Yeah, the price.
I didn't send him the pricing. It was out, and I was just like, wow, 25,000. Awesome. That's it. I didn't have signal there. That's another reason. But even then, I actually forgot. Do you think Google wants to take control of the OS updates with future versions of the OS?
They would love to. They've been trying to. They've been trying to get people to move more things to the App Store, or rather Play Store, so that they can have more control of it. But it's just not as easy as
It's not up to Google.
Flipping a switch and making it happen. So yeah.
I want to know which one you prefer, Amazon or Flipkart, in terms of range of products and services.
It varies. I love the fact that both of them exist. So when one gets a little, starts throwing around attitude, there's the other one to serve a reality check. So when Amazon came in, Flipkart was doing quite well. Then Flipkart standards slipped a little bit. And now again, you can see it go the other way. So I don't have a favorite, but generally I do personally prefer Amazon just because I get to sort. I haven't used Flipkart in a while, but I get the sort via Amazon Fulfilled, right? Does Flipkart have that option now?
I'm not sure.
Flipkart Advantage or something, but that's one of the reasons why I check Amazon. But yeah, I wouldn't, if a product is priced cheaper on Flipkart, I'd get it on Flipkart. It's just that I don't buy a lot of things these days, to be honest.
And Amazon generally have better prices, right?
Not really.
Okay.
There have been some cases where Flipkart's been cheaper.
Okay. Xiaomi is trying to grab market in every field, like toothpaste. Do you think it to be wise?
I don't know. I don't run a brand. I don't believe I know the scope. As in, I don't believe I'm qualified enough to answer this question. Because unless and until you're running a brand, you're running a business, you can't answer that. When it comes to phones as an end user, yes, I can answer. As an end user, I can say whether, I feel they should have done this better or not. But from a whole brand expansion perspective, if they're trying to get into multiple fields, I seriously have no comment on this.
Okay. As for my opinion, I feel as long as they don't make half-baked products, it must be fine, right? And as long as one field doesn't really affect the other field.
Fair enough.
Is there any point of buying 4K TVs in India right now, as there is no 4K content DTH service available?
Maybe if you're buying a PS4 Pro, then yeah, you get 1440p for some games that might look better, will look better on a 4K display. But barring that, I really don't think so. For me personally, I don't have any 4K display in the office. Everything is right from my TV to my monitors. It's all 1080p. So I don't think we are there yet with regards to 4K.
There is actually a DTH service providing 4K channel, Videocon.
Yeah, but then that's not like...
That's just one channel, and occasionally, like last year Cricket World Cup, T20 World Cup was broadcasted in 4K. So from time to time you do get content. It's way better than it used to be. Like
yeah, but then again, it's not at a point where buying a 4K
is
TV
a must. Yeah, I know.
Today,
it's not a must.
It doesn't even add a lot of value unless and until you plan to use it as a connector. You plan to stream something via the NVIDIA Shield, in which case, of course, Netflix does provide 4K content. So something like that, it might work, but it's a very niche segment. Mainstream, not yet. Not in India, at least.
Was your FS7 purchase worth it? Seeing cameras like the A7S II, A7R2 from Sony, which cost less, what's your take on this?
So the FS7 is a totally different beast. It is a video camera first. It doesn't shoot images, whereas A7S2 is, or an A7R2 is primarily digital camera first. It's for still images. Yes, it can do great video, but it's just a totally different thing. So while yes, mirrorless cameras have come a long way, the FS7 still has its purposes.
Latest leak by EV Leaks and John 4 Lakers shows Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus will have 4 GB RAM. The C9 Pro has 6 GB RAM. Your thoughts?
Well, let's see when it actually becomes reality. So right now, it seems weird for it to have 4 gigs of RAM, but let's see. So talking about the Galaxy S8, if you are thinking about buying one, if you do end up actually buying one, you could get a wrap for it. I've got my A7 Edge wrapped. So this is from Slick Wraps, our sponsors for this video. So before we move on to the next question, a big shout out to Slick Wraps. They sell a ton of skins for a lot of devices, a lot of very popular devices. Do check them out if you haven't already. And for C4E Tech viewers, you get $5 off any purchase you make on Slick Wraps. Just head on over to the link that you see over here, sw.live/C4etech, and you can use the code C4etech to get $5 off. I'll also be leaving a link to that in the description below, so click that, check them out, and can we move on to the next question?
What's the difference between action camera and normal camera? Why the price of 4K action camera is lower than a DSLR?
See, again, right, action cameras are totally different. It's got a
wider
field of view, narrower aperture. You don't really see a difference in the foreground and the background with an action camera. It is supposed to be light, and it's supposed to help you capture as much as possible as far as field of view goes. A very wide angle lens is what's used.
Without tinkering much with the settings.
A DSLR is a totally different thing. That's for photography, that's for videos. Whereas an action camera is just about not really looking at it, just like putting it and pressing it, not even framing the shot, because you're supposed to get so much of the shot anyway.
Some don't even have displays.
Yeah, most of them don't, right?
I want to buy a gimbal. Budget, no issue, but I mainly want it for DSLRs.
I would probably suggest a Feiyutech MG3 or a Xeon Crane.
Let me know a budget phone which has good developer support and future-proof. OnePlus 3T is my choice, but budget matters.
I don't really get the question. If the OnePlus 3T is your choice and budget matters, do you mean something cheaper than the OnePlus 3T? Because my call would be the OnePlus 3T.
Any good moving Snapdragon phone should be good enough, right?
Probably.
Yeah. No Exynos, no high silicon.
Because they're not really developer friendly.
Will you buy and review Ryzen CPUs that were launched by AMD?
Depends if it's... I wouldn't review the CPUs just by themselves. I mean, would you want to see that? Would you be interested in seeing that? I don't really think a lot of people would be. But I might probably use it in a build in the next few months.
It's priced very competitively, so...
Yes.
Your thoughts on the HTC Ultra U and Uplay? Suicidal move by HTC?
Well, the pricing is kind of nuts, and I don't know, HTC's pricing has always been, but at least in the past, they offered something the competition didn't, whether it was boom sound like the stereo speakers, or a metal build, or the Super LCD panel initially with the 1X and phones like that. Like Sundar mentioned before we actually cut to reshoot, the dual camera setup. But now with how intense the market is and how irrelevant HTC has grown, it makes absolutely no sense for them to price it more than they ever have, as in real weird pricing. So yes, I wouldn't say this often, but yes, this seems really suicidal. What do you think?
Yeah, but apart from the pricing, the Ultra U seems to be a good offering, right?
Yeah, I mean, going by underneath
821.
With 835 devices around the corner.
60K definitely doesn't make sense. Yeah. Who's your favorite WWE superstar? Both have to answer, and Sundar doesn't discriminate.
Mine would be Shawn Michaels all time. As of now, it's AJ Styles and Finn Balor. In case you've not noticed by my t-shirts, CM Punk is another one. Nakamura and NXT.
For me, you say it.
Undertaker.
Yeah. From the day I started watching WWE till date, he's still there. Ash, Sundar, Harris. When will all three of you show up together in Ash Answers?
When we can get a big enough set for it. Two people right now, we are crammed into it. We really don't have the space to fit in a third person. So 3-man setups are not going to happen in this place at least.
I want to buy a Samsung mobile under 20k. Priorities, all sensors, or suggest other phones which has better camera and battery.
See, at 20k, you could probably go with something under 20k, you could probably go with the Lenovo P2. If you want a Samsung phone, what's it? J7 Prime is the one running in that segment.
Yeah, 18k, 70 to 18k.
Yeah, or you can go a little higher, wait for the A5 2017 to launch.
But his priorities, all sensors.
Yeah, all sensors.
Yeah, forget Samsung.
A5 2017 does have everything but the haptic feedback.
Yeah.
It's not yet out in India though, but it should
Do you
come
expect
out.
it to launch under 20k?
No, 25. That's what I said. You should go a little higher. But you'd probably be good with a Lenovo P2.
Better camera and battery, even the Honor 6X. The
Honor 6X.
Cool one. Ash, when will you update C4E Tech website?
As of now, it's not on my to-do list. I don't know if I ever will. Focusing on YouTube.
Yeah. When is the blue tick coming? You're having more than 100k followers on Twitter and close to 670k subs on YouTube.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know, guys. See, end of the day, it matters what people think of me rather than what Twitter thinks of me. So, will I be happy if I get verified? Probably, but am I crying that I'm not verified? Not really. So, it's fine.
Not like there are a lot of fake C4E Tech accounts out there, so it doesn't make a big difference. You guys rock. Please suggest a phone for 20k. Performance is priority, not a gamer.
20k performance, Z2 Plus.
Fast charge, Super AMOLED display, extra 1k juice, front fingerprint sensor, half the storage. Justify the extra 5k on Lenovo P2 over Redmi Note 4.
That would be called a Lenovo P2 versus Redmi Note 4 full comparison. So I don't know. If you really want me to justify it, you justified it yourself. Didn't you? I mean, fast charge, Super AMOLED display, extra 1k juice, front fingerprint scanner, half the storage. Justified. These are the reasons why it's justified. Justify the Moto Z Play. The fact is, Moto M is outselling the Lenovo P2. So people are paying more for the brand. So Lenovo probably thinks their brand commands a higher price than the Redmi Note 4. And it's not just that, they actually do offer some extra things. And I'm pretty sure the camera is better on the P2 as well.
Better than the Redmi Note 4.
The Redmi Note 4, definitely, because I actually did shoot some pictures side by side. It was better than the Redmi Note 4. So yeah.
Samsung Galaxy Note 5 at 22k. Is it a good deal? I'm a Samsung fanboy.
If you're getting a new one at 22k, hell yes.
Yeah,
if you're getting a used one at 22k, it's still not a bad deal. Because the Exynos 7420 is still a hell of a chip.
Yeah. Is it true that 8.0 Android version is Oreo? My gosh, yummy.
Okay. If you want to answer it.
Yeah, I think so, because the senior VP of Android at Google, he kind of teased a Oreo themed GIF picture on Twitter.
Okay.
So I think it might be Oreo. Will Xiaomi launch their TVs in India? I know how hard it is for you to get one mobile for review. Still just an expectation.
I think eventually they might, but given how the rapid expansion of LAKEY has actually hurt them more than helped them, and given that Xiaomi is also losing market share in phones, I find it highly unlikely in the very near future. But I'd be glad if they actually bring it. So those are all the questions that Sundar's picked. That's all we have for this episode. If you did like it, go ahead, give this video a big thumbs up. If you hated it, go ahead, vote it down. And if you feel we were a little too dead, not too lively in this video, you are right. Pat yourself on the back. Go ahead, give this video a thumbs up. This video was interrupted about 4 or 5 times in between. We've had kids honking, ringing their cycle's bell. Sundar has been sick.
Yeah.
We are coming off 2 intense days where we went out and got footage on a Honor 6X. We did like a day with the Honor 6X and a night with the Honor 6X. 2 videos where we got a friend of mine, a professional who uses smartphone cameras in his line of work to get images. And that was like 2 17-hour days, at least for me. So I am extremely sleep deprived, and I also did manage to pick up an allergy, so my skin was all weird and stuff. So I'm on medication for that, so kind of all over the place. So sorry if the liveliness of the video wasn't there this week. I'm sure we do better next week. So anyway guys, do check out our sponsor Slick Wraps at sw.live/C4retech. The link's in the description below. If you go through that link and buy anything, use the discount code C4retech and you get $5 off. $5 off.
So that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. This is Sundar and Ash from C4retech, leaving for the moment. Have a great day.
Bye-bye now.